Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Silver, and today on the show, my guest is Nick Krem out of beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, co-founder of the Krem Institute of Artificial Intelligence and creator of the world's first AI certified agent. Nick, welcome to the show.
Hey, glad to be here, Dylan. Just excited, just to keep spreading the message and love what you guys do. So, of course, love getting on here with you.
So, man, I normally, before I hop on here, I go into more of a spiel about what the show is about, but I got such a good vibe with you. I was like, let's just dive right in here. And the AI frightens a lot of people, I think specifically in the real estate space, but also there's so much innovation. I have so many questions. I think starting off at the top, how did you get into the AI space?
Yeah, so it's funny. My brother and I, we had a content company. We had it for years, and people on our team, our staff kept coming to us, and our staff was actually the one to show it to us. They're like, hey, did you know we can start doing this? Hey, did you know we can start editing videos with this tool, creating the content with this tool? And in about a couple weeks, we replaced over 80% of our staff. It was a hard day because we had to say hey, we got to let you go. But we replaced 80% of our staff with these different AI tools and increased our output as a company. And I looked at my brother, this was a month after ChatGPT came out. So was that 2022?
22.
Yeah, I think it was 22. Yeah, it was like December 2021 and then 22.
Okay.
So it was right when it came out, and we just looked at this and holy shit, if we don't make an adjustment, we're going to be put out of business. And there's a lot of our people and clients who will be put out of business without this too. So we made the adjustment and powered our entire company using AI. And now we just made the transition to help real estate agents power their companies using AI as well.
What was your company involved in at that point in time?
We have been strictly real estate from the beginning. So we've been strictly real estate from the beginning. At that time, we had a content house. It was like a 7-bedroom content house in Orlando, Florida. And we turned the entire thing to a giant video studio. And people would fly from all over the country to come shoot content. And then we'd send it to our video editing team, copywriting team, and just create a bunch of content for them in that 1 or 2 day period of time.
All you had to do was say Florida. But you're in Cleveland now, but Florida is my spiritual home. That's where I would love to live one day. I've said this on other podcasts. I went to Fort Lauderdale a handful of times, most recently in February, on a connecting flight back from Santo Domingo. And it was so beautiful in Fort Lauderdale. I was like, this is where I'm going to live. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out.
Man, I hear you. We spent a year in Sarasota, and it's just beautiful there. Part of me was like, man, I wasn't taking any vacations or trips places because I'm like, where am I going to go that's that much better than
nicer than this?
Yeah.
The thing about it, Nick, is when it's constantly warm outside, you walk outside, it's another beautiful day. You're like in shorts, you got your flip-flops, you're like, this is life right now. Yeah. Everyone's a little bit happier. Like they're in the spot where you have people that are a little bit older with money too, so they're like giving you the game. Like I'm out there chopping it up with people talking about like real estate acquisitions, and they're, you know, an attorney giving me their perspective of things. Like, it's just, where else would you have these conversations just regularly?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah. You know, Florida's great, especially Sarasota. It was like, people there just love life. You're not living in Sarasota and angry. Like, you're there because you did great things in life and you're just enjoying your time now.
So we have the AI content creation in the real estate space. And so you're able to reduce your workforce, increase your output, go back to Cleveland, Ohio, and the next steps, what did that look like?
Yeah, so for us, it's, you know, we were like researching things online because, look, the reality with AI is there's literally a million ways you can use this. There are so many ways you can utilize that tool. So what is the exact niche and what do we do for real estate agents? So for us, we started taking a look at, you know, a little bit about what we know, branding and marketing. But we saw like Harvard started coming out with AI certified engineers. And we saw all these online institutions coming out with these certifications. So for us, we decided to come out with the AI certified agent, which was about 2 or 3 months after ChatGPT came out. So our main goal is just to help real estate agents make the transition to an AI powered business. Because I believe there's no future in real estate without learning AI. There's no future in the world without learning AI. So what we do is we just simply help real estate agents make that transition. So we have an entire research and development team on the back end that's constantly checking out new tools, checking out different ways to utilize it, and just creating AI efficiencies is where we focus on.
Okay, so let's dive into the weeds here. AI efficiencies, right? People have seen ChatGPT. They've seen it. I forget which version we're on now, 4.0. I don't know the terminology here, but a couple months back, people got this, it was making headlines that there's a $200 per month ChatGPT. Okay, so I don't know what it does, but there's so many things that I've said. I can't even think of all the jokes that I made about it. What is it, $200 a month? Of course, you've seen the $200 a month or know about the $200 a month. What is it doing that is worth $200 a month?
My honest answer here, Dylan, it's not worth it for real estate agents. Don't buy it. Like, we've had it and we utilize it. You can use the operator. You can use some different functions within there. For real estate agents, you don't need that. So for the people that we advise and we go through it, it's like, can you learn how to do these things? Yeah. Can you do some pretty cool things with it? Absolutely. But does it get to the point where it saves you time and makes you more money? And that's where I'd have to draw my argument and say, no, it doesn't. Wow. It's going to end up taking more of your time, trying to learn how to utilize these things. Because at the end of the day, in real estate, you make money by talking to people and building better relationships. So we focus on how can you use this in a simple way that takes the tasks you were already doing and makes them quicker. I'm not going to try and teach you something new and create a problem that you don't have. Like, real estate agents don't need to figure out how to use this to help build better websites. You don't need to learn how to do all of that. So for me, it's not worth it. Do I have it? Yeah, because I got to be studious. I got to be the one that learns these things for our agents. But that's something where I tell them, you don't need this. So great question though. Yeah.
Do you know what the use case, what industry is seeing 200? Because I've bought I forget how much it is, $20 a month, or I don't know how much it is, but I bought the pro version. I got a lot of use out of that for so many different things. It actually, my buddy made one where it'll help me learn to speak Spanish with a Dominican accent because I go back and forth. So basically, like, if I want to type using their local Caribbean dialect, Dominican flow is what it's called. that I can now plug that in and it'll in English and it'll put it back out in the dialect of Spanish based on Santo Domingo. Mind blowing. But what's the use case for what industry would see a lot of use out of the $200 a month plan?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I would say industries that have a lot of inputting of data and information will have a great use case for this. And I'm saying like vast volumes to that extent. So if you're inputting a lot of data, I mean, online marketers can have a lot of use cases on it too, because it can help you build things, can help you work on the back end. But people who just have a huge influx of data would be able to get a great use out of it.
We're seeing so much innovation, Nick, in the AI space. I'm super glad to have you on because a lot of my guests, I want to talk about it, but I think a lot of people are hesitant too because a lot of this is still in development, like it's changing seemingly monthly, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I've seen selfishly is that if you were to study software engineering, for instance, which is what I'm studying on the side, 5 years ago, it's almost irrelevant today.
Yeah.
Because AI does so much of it. Like, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but you're able to learn so much faster that it's like if you are going to learn anything in human history, now is the time to do it. You could ask ChatGPT about its perspective on an issue based on a historical figure. Like, what would Teddy Roosevelt say about this, right? And so you're able to get so many different perspectives, which leads me to where do you see this influencing real estate in the next maybe 6 months, year? Where do you see AI making this ripe for innovation in real estate in general? Or is that, no one really knows?
I would say 5 years is a tough guess because at that point, it's just a guess. 5 years, it's a guess.
Or what about a year out?
A year out, yeah. So what I'm seeing some companies that are doing right now that I'm really, really excited for because this is going to help producing agents. There's actually a place, I'll even give them a shout out on here too, that I actually, when I flew out to Seattle to visit my sister, they just so happened to be based in Seattle. So I went in there and saw, the makeup of what they're working on. Housewhisper.ai. Housewhisper AI, bro, it literally brings your CRM to life, right? So like if you're calling all of the time and it's only working in some CRMs now, they plan on rolling out to more, but it takes notes for you as you're calling. It dispositions them based on the call that you have, takes your notes. It adds tasks for you while you're on the call. They're working on ways where like when you go on the appointment, not working, they've rolled out part of this, where when you go on the appointment, it texts you before going into the appointment for different reminders, but then it also follows up with you after your appointment time. And then all you have to do, and this is what I love about what this company is doing, is you text your AI back and forth and it automatically updates your CRM. So it's not, a lot of companies that I see make a mistake is they try and pitch you this grandiose of an AI tool. And if you just spend hours and hours and hours learning how to use this tool, it'll save you time, but it just gets more confusing. This one, you text back and forth.
Unbelievable.
So it texts you and then you let it know its notes. It goes into the CRM. It finds the lead for you, updates it for you, and it basically brings your CRM to life. And then they're even working on a way where you can call the CRM and then have it on speakerphone on your appointment. And then at the end of it, it will take notes, predisposition it, set calendar reminders. And it's like, to me, that's where for real estate agents, you make money when you talk to people, when you form relationships. You don't make money trying to learn a bunch of new technology. But this brings it to life. It almost puts you like an Iron Man format. So like that's a company that we're really looking at.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
What makes the real estate agent's life easier?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Have you heard about this wearable Plod? Have you heard about this one?
I got it.
All right, so that reminds me of Plod, but on another level. Now, Plod isn't specific to any industry. I've seen and heard of a lot of medical, potentially big use case for that, because patients, so on and so forth, you're able to see and search and do that type of deal. But with the ability to not have to go into a CRM, because as someone who's very process and data oriented, I'm a big believer in CRMs. Big. But this is actually a slight disagreement that I was having with a business partner. Is this person is not a believer at all in CRMs. Like, they don't have a CRM, but highly, highly successful, which is amazing. And so the thing is my mentality was like, I'm not going to do anything without doing it in a CRM. And his mentality is like, just call the darn leads.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'll get these text messages, just call the leads, call the leads, call the leads. But if you have this type of, house whisper, the Plod, it really enables a bridge between kind of these two extremes. Someone like me who's highly analytical, highly process oriented, and the other person who's basically like real estate cowboy. Like, let me just get out there and make it happen type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think that's where, look, you need a CRM. I don't care if you're saying successful without it. You'd be even more successful with one, period. It's not a belief. That's just, you could go to numbers and state that too. But I think that's where where do you find things that make your life easier, that add efficiencies? Another great one is called Whoozy.ai. Big believer in what Whoozy is doing and what they're rolling out, where you can literally upload your contracts and have an AI agent be your transaction coordinator.
No
24/7.
way.
Yeah, because it's a private GPT. So you can talk to it back and forth, gets you dates, gets you anything that you're looking for. You can even ask it to draft you an email explaining this at a third grade level and then send it out. So that way it'll go through the contract, explain the dates, closing costs, and things that you need. They also have ways that you can have your open house assistants where it's like an AI agent that will help walk somebody through a house for you. So like those two, I'm really excited about what they're doing, because I believe if you're a producing agent who is actually doing deals, a 24/7 transaction coordinator that answers your questions when you're on vacation and you need to draft up the contract and like have your information, you can literally bring it up, talk to it back and forth, and then draft an email in seconds.
As I knock my microphone off the stand, the use cases for all of these, you talked about Whoozy, you talked about House Whisper.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned 24/7 transaction coordinator, like, that is mind-blowing to me, man. Like, talk about transaction coordinators. Transaction coordinators themselves are heavily valuable, and there's not a lot of people who can really do that role well, because typically in many cases, these are licensed agents or people who've worked with licensed agents for a very long period of time. You have to be able to understand the forms, depending on which state you're in, right? But on top of that, you also have to be able to interface with these very tricky seller and buyer issues. Like, I feel like 50% of the job of a transaction coordinator is reaching out to these people and keeping them on the hook, right?
Right.
And so anything that can facilitate that is just a huge, huge bonus. So in my mind, like you mentioned Tony Stark, I'm picturing like a situation where you're wearing some type of AI wearable eye glasses. It's now casting it in front of you. You're like using your finger to like drag and drop to different stages in a pipeline. You're also able to see the suggested where it is at in the pipeline. And then on a separate like area, your field of view, you have your transaction coordinator kind of in your ear saying, hey, these are the action items that we need to address. This person, earnest money deposit is going to go hard, option money, so on and so forth. And so, man, what a field to be in.
It's a great field to be in. And I just think it's an exciting time to be alive. It's literally an age where anything is possible with AI. And I think some people who feel like, look, if you're listening to this and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling anxiety and all of these things, I get it, because the world is moving faster than any of us believed possible. But here's the reality, and you might not like it. It's never slowing down. We've opened up Pandora's box. AI will never slow down. The technology will never stop advancing. So you have a decision to make. I tell my people all the time, you'll either be a creator or a watcher with this technology. You will either watch it happen, sit on the sidelines, wait for it to slow down, feel like your anxiety kicking in, overwhelmed, but you will be a watcher for life because it's never slowing down and you have to learn it. Shopify, they just sent out an email to all their employees and like everybody who's hiring and says, you cannot hire another person until you prove to us that AI can't do their job. So like, if you don't choose to learn this in real estate, there's not going to be many jobs, almost any, that you can go to it and feel safe that you're not going to have to learn it. You have to learn it.
Yeah.
So you either be a watcher and sit on the sidelines or be a creator and go out there and create more content, create more emails, create more efficiencies.
This is the idea of being a creator is an interesting wave, because for the last, I want to say, 15 years, we've heard a lot about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Very important, right? Very, very important. That's what gave birth to AI, right? However, I've heard a number of people, I forget who it was. I don't want to say it was someone's name and then it wasn't. I've heard a number of people talking about how with AI, and me being in a software engineering bootcamp, I see this. Yeah. You don't need to go as deep into learning these systems. You can have a higher level understanding, but what you need to be capable of is the creativity and the prompting of the AI. So we may see a return to like liberal arts degrees. We may see in the future a lot more people saying we actually do not need, and the desire to pay an engineer several $100,000s for relatively manual arithmetic is not there. Let's offload this to AI, and we need a creative, and we need process people to get this forward. So that's my perspective. It could be a hot take, but I feel like we're about to enter an age of ultimate creativity.
We are about to enter that age. And a lot of those jobs and places, you'll still need an expert, but you won't need 10. You'll just need one to say this output that it generated is correct. That's what the expert will need to do, because it's not 100%. And I don't know if it ever will be. Like, there's still hallucinations and things that come with it. What we'll be looking at is more so like HR for AI. Like, you're just more so quality control, making sure everything is correct, and just saying like, all right, everything that is outputted based on everything that I know and my expertise, that is correct. So that's really what those jobs are going to turn into. But it might not take 100 people to do a job. It might take 2 to just be able to say, that's right, that's wrong, shift this, and then that'll be it.
You know what else, Nick, is the AI also heavily interfaces with UX, user experience. And I was talking to a woman today, unbelievable story. So she was some type of art or design major, like pen to paper in school. She realized that she wasn't going to make a ton of money in that career. So she used those skills, went into UX, user experience, ended up working, I believe it was for JP Morgan. And it's just funny enough, I love JP Morgan. I love Chase Bank, right? And one of the reasons why I love them is the experience on their website, I feel, is just superior to a lot of other platforms. And I also on that podcast was talking with her, unrelated but somewhat, about Airbnb and how I felt like the user experience on Airbnb is just leagues above everybody else. Like, even if you go to book a hotel on like holidayinn.com or Marriott, you would think that Airbnb would be, but no, Airbnb is just absolute, in my perspective, my money's worth, dominating in user experience, dominating. And so when you merge user experience, the click-through, how comfortable it is to navigate it, we're talking about like just on your phone versus on the computer versus tablet. And then you integrate AI with that to make it so that there's this seamless experience and your questions are being answered, at least the basic ones, immediately. Man, that's where you start to see, like, especially with what Airbnb is doing with their whole experience. And I'm sure they've got AI in the pipeline there. It's a home run.
It is. And there's going to be two types of businesses, those who adopt AI and those who don't. And everyone's like, here's that. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense. My question for everybody who's listening is, if you duplicated your actions, what you've been doing, let's just say this last month, the amount of time you're spending learning AI, the amount of time you're implementing AI into your business, if you duplicated this last month for the next 5 years, will you be one of those people who takes over with this? If the answer is no, then you have to make an adjustment.
Wow. You just said something. I don't know if you knew how profound this was, Nick. So you said 5 years. So yeah. I forget where I heard this, but recently I heard someone say that if you want to succeed, if you want to elevate yourself, you've got to make a compelling case to the universe that you deserve to succeed. And the barometer was 10 years, right? And so 5 years with AI, but I think you could even condense it further down that, right? So if you wanted to specifically learn, like in what I'm doing, software engineering or full stack web development, and previously that may have taken you all of, a year or 2 years if you're doing it part-time. With AI, how quickly do you think you could put together a portfolio? Like a month.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to know the syntax errors in your code, because you can go in and say, find the syntax errors. It's not populating this way. And so you think about real estate. Yeah, you still have to pass your real estate exam, right? But as far as filling out your forms, if you've got 12 pages of documents and you could have, I'm just spitballing here, we're probably not here just yet, but AI attorney, right? So, hey, let me have this AI attorney review.
It's
what I mean?
Not that far off. Look, we've had people that they've uploaded agreements that they've had, whether it was insurance or anything else, into AI and said, find me a loophole to get out of this. They literally found a loophole. Now draft me an email. My goal is this to get me out of this claim. They've gotten out, they're literally uploading these things every single day. They're helping with contracts, helping with agreements, helping just edit, go through this. They've even sent them to their lawyers like, hey, who'd you have draft this for you? This is great.
No way.
Yeah. So it's thousands of dollars of work and now just be done using ChatGPT.
So Nick, are people coming to you often with, hey, I have this problem. How can AI help me with it? Is that something I would imagine if you're in my network, I'm like, hey, I have this. What can I do with AI?
Yeah. That's where it's, yes, people come to us and they say here's what I'm going through. How can AI help me do this? And that's where it's just problem solving, and just through our experience, we've helped over 1,100 agents make the transition to AI powered business. We just know a thing or two about a thing or two. So people bring it to us, and people are constantly bringing us new tools, but I usually keep it down. I like having about 6 to 7 tools that I tell people to get, because you don't need 1,000 AI tools to dramatically change your business. I know people come out with a new one every single day and they're all going to change your life, but I don't believe that. So I just think there's just a couple tools that agents need to really help make that transition.
Nick, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the simplest way is if you just go to www.krem.ai, KREM.ai. You guys can go there. You can learn more about our company, learn about our mission. And then we also have free live classes that we do for agents every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys are looking to hey, what's the simplest way that you can start making that transition? We have a bunch of free resources on there. And you guys can also schedule a call with one of our reps to see how we can help you take that next step and to really make that difference. Because I believe there'll be 2 types of agents in the future, those who adopt to AI and those who are out of the business. So we're simply helping real estate agents make that transition to an AI-powered business.
Nick, thank you so much for coming on the show. I could have talked to you about Airbnb, about ChatGPT prompting. You mentioned 2 businesses that I had never heard of before, House Whisperer and Whoozy. We could have filled up a whole other 2 podcasts. Thank you for giving us so much value, and thanks for hopping on here.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.